Everybody, I am Laura. I am visiting scholar at Texas Home University, and I'm delighted to be here as an English teacher at the 92nd annual meeting of the Conference of College Teachers of English in collaboration with the Texas College of English Association. The title of my talk, as you can see, the Train Stop Memory, Identity and the Teacher Writing Journey, explore how the personal trauma and the professional teaching experience is instead between memory and identity, particularly through the lens of writing, living with neurological disorder, as is my case, because I am a patient of traumatic brain injury. When I was 17 years old, I got my traffic accident in a motorcycle, and completely I was in a coma for almost a month, so I got frontotemporal injury. The metaphor of the train stop here is reflected in literature of the narrative, and we are going to see later on, and also the medicine moment in which we pause, as was my coma, reflect and continue in our journey. And during my talk, I will explore how the autobiographical narrative inform the educational practice and also the diversity understanding between the teacher and student. And also the autobiographical narrative, including education, help about the inclusion and identity and experiences being teacher, writer and patient, and it's my case. And I like to begin with this question. For example, what does it mean to love yourself? As was my case. After the coma, when I started the university degree and even the English teacher position as a teacher, everything was new for me. I was imagine losing your memory and being sit down in the chair listening to the professor. I was not able to understand. I was imagining another word, so imagine how difficult was my lesson as a student, first of all. And also, we are going to ask ourselves, how can education help to reconstruct our identity? In my research, I want just to include autobiographical narrative to help teachers to recognize our voice as a being patient. And also, in both questions, determine the key question of my research. Who is she really? Because there is moment in which the train stops, but not just because the journey ends, because the identity is completely interactive, you know? So now, this paper explores how the neurological illness is connected with the educational system, and also is analyzed in three lenses. The narrative medicine for the patient voice as a subjectivity, the qualitative autobiographical analysis of reflection and testimony, even of the own teacher, and escape room as a therapeutic and also pedagogical tools for inclusive education. And it's important to mention that I include the narrative medicine in my research because I want to get the subjectivity of women after no diagnosis on time. And also, I would like to mention that narrative medicine was described, of course, for Rita Sharon as the ability to recognize, absorb, interpret, and respond to illness narrative for the patient voice. And in this paper, we don't see just the narrative medicine as a clinical perspective. We are going to see the narrative medicine include in education and teaching as a inclusion. And for that reason, I have included here the teacher autobiographical narrative, Torres Caro, 2025, following the traumatic brain injury as a central framework. Answering the question, how can narrative of brain injury be transformed education expression, and fostering empathy, cognitive understanding, and also the real support strategy for even students with disabilities. And this work, as we can see here, is based on my own autobiographical novel, The Girl at the Mental Stop, A Journey Through Memory, Madness, and the Truth She Can Escape, in which I explore the personal experience and analyzing as well the academic perspective of the object of study of my narrative, not just as a testimony, also as identity to recognize our voice when, after being silent so many years for not telling your own reality of your invisible pain. And also, I want to analyze the teacher's subjectivity for having a voice in educative system. And also, after the invisible sickness, I want to realize how a brain injury is after post-neurological symptoms as well. For example, in my case, I was 13 years after the traumatic brain injury with neurological symptoms that was no diagnosis on time. And I want to recognize the misunderstanding between the brain health and the mental health in education. Because I want the educative practice to be with emphasis of others and also with inclusive teaching. And for that reason, it's important to include the autobiographical narrative in education. And also, I want to, you can see here the first sentence, in our identity is not fixed or as a whole. It's also constructed through memories, after losing your own memory and identity, especially after trauma. That was my case. Because as teacher, we can carry the fragment of our own autobiographical narrative into the classroom. To know how to respond to vulnerability of a student and even of the own teacher, and also practice emphasis between others. And our personal story is not separated from our professional identity, because become as a part of our pedagogy, teaching. And the quote, as you can see on the second sentence of page 52, arrange the piece of the puzzle of my childhood forgotten, because all my past is gone completely after my accident. And this belongs to the level 5 of the escape room, and we are going to see later on and argue how the vulnerable body is not just a weakness, it's a pedagogical resource between the clinical perspective and also the trauma experience of the illness, and are not separately of the educational practice as inclusion. And what is often the invisible pain or sickness of the teacher, for example, in my case, fragility, or for example, the memory loss, can become a reflection and as a bridge of clinical and education, thanks to the autobiographical narrative into education. And also, I would like to see here how the autobiographical narrative, as the Get Out the Mental Stop and the escape room of gamification, are in education for the inclusion of everybody. And also the use of escape room in education help us to address for example, the trauma, the identity, the literature, the medicine, and between the memory and identity after neurological trauma. And also, I would like to say that in my research is based on qualitative methodology with autobiographical approach in the critical analysis of my two autobiographical narrative, Torres Caro 2025, as a teacher, patient, and also the author. Because the design of escape room in this narrative focus on emerging the reflective perspective to help students to face any disability inside the classroom, and to share with others. And also, I would like to mention that my autobiographical novel of the escape room functions as a structural metaphor of the recovery process after a traumatic brain injury, because awakening from a coma in 2006, that was my case, is not an immediate return to the real world. It's a completely gradual resolution. For example, cognitive, in the memory, in linguistic, in orientation, it was relearning everything again. The sensory, for example, the smell, the taste, and also in therapy to reconstruct your own self. Because emergency from a coma was not a simple awakening. It was like an escape. For that reason, I used the escape room in my narrative to find exit for the coma. And also, I would like to mention here that I have, for my theoretical framework of my research, I have used two author theories. we have Riesman, 1993, 2002, and Lieblich and the college in 1998 to analyze the narrative in a meaning-making, also identity reflection. Because, for example, Riesman proposed narration as a three lenses. For example, thematically, what is told, structurally, how is told, and dialogically, from who or what is the context. And according to Lieblich and college, it's just in two. For example, holistic, examine the story as a whole, and also categorically segment the story in different units. And the content and form, the content is what happened, who was involved, and also the content is important to consider. And the form in the structure, the style, and linguistic feature. So based on the two author theories, I would like to explain my analysis of the narrative in 5 levels. Because I have the escape room within the 5 levels. To foster empathy, critical reflection, and also the problem solving. Allowing a student to face their own disability in the classroom. You can see the escape room in the page 42 or 57 of my narrative. The challenge one is the personal level, return to the past, and was my case, she is down and up a step by step to find the exit of coma. Answering what is she feeling, surprise, fear, or anger. The level 2 is interpersonal. She appeared in the body in the cemetery, so with different names and different bodies. Who is she really? Everything depends on her lost memory. The cognitive level, number 3, crack the code. So we need to figure out the correct number in a logical thinking and problem solving after IBI. In my case, I have dyscalculia, so for me it's so difficult the number. And the number 4 is society level, represent differently acceptance of the César code. So you need to mix the letter with the phrases. And challenge 5, psychological level, she make a puzzle pieces combining the childhood's completely lost. And now we are going to see the teacher autobiographical narrative escape room as a patient. So we combine the gamification of the escape room with literature, as we see the Get at the Mental Stop. And the escape room helps to the teacher of unconsciousness and absence and vulnerability to show in the classroom. And also the teacher as an author in the escape room is to reconstruct their own memory loss and also help a student to face everyday challenge, an obstacle in life. And the gamification, according to CAP 2012, is a design of motivation and support in learning to help the student in their relearning every day. And also the escape room helps the student in different benefits. For example, in empathy, for example, in emotional awareness, improve the memory, in cognitive process, in problem solving, in critical thinking, in social interpersonal skill with others, resilience or self-reflection, and also in inclusive mindset. So here we are going to see the balance between the teacher and student. For that reason, it's important to use autobiographical narrative in the classroom because we are going to get the same ethical and educational recognition for having equality in the teacher and student. And also, to get more the balance between the teacher and the student facing neurological disorder, it's important to use the difference between mental and brain health, because the distinction between mental and brain health is fundamental in education, especially when working with a student with neurological disorder. For example, like attention deficit, autism. Brain health is a biological function and mental health is more psychological. So understanding the difference between mental health and brain health is fundamental for no interruption the student learning, and also to receive right support, equality, and cognitive diversity. And as a conclusion, I would like to conclude that it's important to use autobiographical narrative of the teacher as a patient, which include gamification of the escape room, as I showed previously, as a pedagogical tool and resourcing. The Get at the Mental Stop illustrate the coma as a loss of the self, and exploring the memory and identity through writing. And this approach demonstrates how the personal stories for education is a neurological rehabilitation for teacher and even student as a protagonist facing diversity. And the key outcome of my research is resilience, inclusion, and also cognition. And thank you very much for listening to me today. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. And here you are the social media if you want to hear more. And also my reference of my narrative. In case you want to hear more about the story, I bring in my luggage some of the copies, and I will be so glad to share my story with all of you. Thank you.